Hey guys, let's talk briefly about how to deal with and fix your simple breaks in your PVC line. Let's say you have just a little hairline fracture or something like that and you have to deal with it. So it's pretty easy to identify where a leak is coming from because you'll see water bubbling up out of the ground if it's severe, or even spraying up out of the ground every time you turn on your sprinklers, or you'll just see wet area where it's not supposed to be. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to dig around the entire area, and you're going to have to expose the pipe, and you're going to have to find where the break is in the line, and you're going to have to take it out. Now the mistake or the problem that most people have is they either don't know or they cut out the wrong amount of pipe where the break is. So what you need to do in order to fix a break is you need to install what's called a coupler that's going to attach the pipe on the left side and the right side where the break was, and it's going to fill in the area of the pipe that you cut out to take out the break in the line. So as you can imagine, a coupler is going to be a little bit of an extension. It's going to lengthen your pipe a little bit because it's got some solid area in there that's going to butt up against the left side, and it's going to butt up against the right side of your pipe. So in order to fix a leak properly, what you need to do is you really, even if your hole or your fracture is only this big, you can't just cut out this little section like that and expect to be able to fix your problem. You're going to have to cut out a little bit more of an area. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to slide your coupler and glue it into your existing pipe, and then your other pipe's going to be sticking out so far that you're not going to be able to bend it back in order to slide it into the pipe. Your pipe's gonna end up being like this, and then your other pipe's going to be like that, and you're not going to be able to bend them enough out in order to make this one go into that one, if that makes sense. So what you really need to do is, when you have a break in the line, you're going to need to expose enough of the pipe to get this tool in there, because you're not going to be able to saw in most cases unless you want to dig a huge hole. But you are going to be able to just get one of these guys under there, and you're going to have to make a cut in the pipe on one side. It's a simple, just click it a couple of times and then boom, cut. Very simple process. And then you're going to need to glue your coupler with your PVC pipe glue. I guess I didn't make the perfectly straightest cut, but you'll be more careful than I am. So you're going to want to glue one side of it, and then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need, your pipe's going to be sitting like this now. It's going to be something like that when you just made the cut. So what you're on one side, what you're going to need to do, and it may actually, it's going to be like this. So what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to cut out enough pipe on this side, and you're going to need to dig back and expose enough pipe on both sides so that your shortened pipe's going to be somewhere around here, to where you can actually bend the pipes enough, once you put your glue on both sides, be able to bend the pipes enough to where you can snap them together. And even if you only have this much of the pipe, I'll use this finger, even if you only have this much of the pipe in there, and you are able to get the glue on both sides, you're probably not going to have a problem in the future, because what's going to happen is the pressure from the pipe is going to want to just separate these pipes, but because they're buried underground and because they aren't going to be able to push to the left and to the right, you're not going to experience a slide out like this. If you put enough glue, if you didn't put enough glue, you absolutely are going to experience that, but if you put enough glue and it's solid in there, then it's not going to be able to have enough pressure to push this pipe and break it free from the other side, because there's just not going to be because there's going to be so much pressure holding it in place. So what you're going to need to do, it's actually quite difficult to fix a PVC pipe break in a lot of situations. And what you need to do is to make sure that you have just enough pipe, and you have just enough of the pipe cut off, and you have enough of the pipes exposed to where you can bend them out like this without breaking them, and then boom, slide them together just like that. That's what it's going to look like when you fix your pipe. And it's a little bit stressful because you're going to have to bend your pipe quite a bit, and you don't want to break them. But you don't need to be as concerned. I would be more concerned about bending your pipe too much in order to get the full length of the pipe seated in the coupler than I would be about bending your pipe a little bit with not as much glue to just get that little bit on there with full glue. And you shouldn't experience a problem, like I said, if you use enough glue, because there's so much pressure pushing the pipes together or holding them in place that the water pressure trying to push them apart isn't going to be strong enough to cause the pipe to come out. So that's the easiest way to fix a break in your PVC pipe when you have it. And yeah, so good luck.